Hi, kids! Hi! Today I'm sorry. Miss Aksha sent me here. She told me that today she's not going to take class. Instead, I'll have to take you to Wachanpur, to the town of Wachanpur. And over there's one lady who is going to report us live from Pragati Vidyalaya. Are you ready? Come, let's go. Check it out. Hello, good morning and welcome to BBC News 2014. Today, the 6th of July, I am at Pragati Vidyalaya in this beautiful town called Wachanpur, and I've come to report to you what has happened in class 4. You want to know? Come along, I'll tell you what happened in Mrs. Desai's class. The students of Standard 4 greeted their class teacher, Mrs. Desai, before they sat down. It was time for their English lesson. Shall we bring out our Balbati textbook, teacher? Asked Shruti. Not now, said the teacher. We are going to learn letter writing today. Some special type of letters. Come here, Javed and Nisha, please distribute these notebooks. And while they give out the books, continued Mrs. Desai, let me give you some good news. The students were all ears now. Their teacher announced with a smile. New arrivals in the library, and plenty of them. Storybooks of every kind, informative books with lovely pictures, books of puzzles, jokes, all have been displayed in the library, so you will know which ones to ask for the next time you are in the library. Oh, lovely! I can hardly wait, were some of the eager responses to this piece of news. All were excited except one. What's the use? Complained Felix. We have only one library period in a week and hardly for half an hour too. Just when the story gets interesting, we have to leave and go back to class. Now, Varsha joined in to say, the 2 weeks I've been waiting to know what happened to the Pied Piper of Hamelin. There was a holiday last Thursday and we missed the library period. Mrs. Desai realized that what her students said was perfectly true. She decided to request the principal for a home issue facility for class 4. After all, they were big enough to look after the books they took home. Hey, wait! Thought Mrs. Desai. There's a better way to do it. Why not let the students themselves write a letter of request to the principal? After all, that was what she had planned to teach that day. How to write polite, formal letters. What an opportunity! A good subject for a formal letter. And of course, a real situation would make the learning more effective and interesting. When Mrs. Desai suggested this to her class, they were very excited. Without losing much time, Mrs. Desai began to teach her class how to write a formal letter. The sender's address and date should be written in the upper right corner of the page. She thought the next step is to write the name or post of the receiver near the left margin. Then write his or her address below that. And after that, you must write the subject of the letter in short below the receiver's address. She further instructed. That's something new, remarked Sharon. We do not mention a subject in our friendly letters, do we? Of course not, said Mrs. Desai. What do we do next, teacher? Shruti wanted to know. You address the receiver, writing, Dear Sir or Dear Madam, Remember, the rest of the letter also should be written in polite language. Right to the point. Mrs. Desai explained. And should we end it with yours lovingly? Asked Renu. Oh no, said teacher. You can write that to your friends or parents or even to me, but when you are writing as a student to the principal, you may write yours faithfully or sincerely. Do not forget to thank the receiver appropriately before you close the letter. Come on, now let's draft this letter together. After quite a few errors, cancellations and changes, here's the letter Class 4 wrote to their principal. It was written neatly. Mrs. Desai met the principal soon after the class. She told her about the excitement that followed the announcement of new books in the library. They just cannot wait to read all those lovely books. She beamed. The principal was also delighted and praised her. The credit goes to you, Mrs. Desai. You have created and aroused their interest in reading books. It is going to help them a great deal in future. Yes, madam, said Mrs. Desai. But they find the weekly library period too short a time to read. So my students were going to appeal to you to allow home issue of books. They have written to you a letter of request. A letter? Why? Asked the principal in surprise. I had to teach my class how to write polite formal letters, and I took this opportunity to make them actually write a formal letter, explained Mrs. Desai. Excellent, Mrs. Desai, exclaimed the principal. And I shall not dampen their interest in reading. I shall certainly allow them to take books home for reading. Hello and welcome back again to BBC News 2014, and today is the 7th of July. I'm back at Pragati Vidyalaya in the wonderful town of Bachanpur. Let's see what happens today. The next morning, the principal found the letter on her desk. She signed the letter with the remark, "Permission granted," and sent it to the librarian. To encourage the children of class 4 further, the principal instructed the librarian to give a written reply to the students. And here's what he wrote. Hello and welcome back to BBC News 2014, and today is the 8th of July. And let's see what happens today at Pragati Vidyalaya in this wonderful town of Bachanpur. And today is the day the kids are going to get the letter from the librarian. Let's see how they react to this wonderful news. Hey, great news! Hey, great news! Cried the monitor. Look, we have received a letter from the librarian. And guess what? We can take books home to read. Wow! Exclaimed Shruti with big round eyes. Goodbye, boredom. Welcome, happy hearts. Shouted Akshay. The letter from the librarian was put up on the class notice board for all to read. When Mrs. Desai walked into the classroom, the students of class 4 burst out into many exclamations of thanks. Shall we write a letter of thanks to the librarian? Suggested Manuja. That's an excellent idea, said Mrs. Desai, smiling to herself at this new interest in formal letter writing. This is a letter of thanks the children wrote to the librarian. Did you notice the name of the lesson? It says, no formalities, please. When do you be formal? Ha! People like me. We are not formal at all. But when some guests come home, my mama tells them, relax, feel at home, no formalities, please. That means she says, no formalities. And the same is used here. It says, no formalities, but know them too, which means understand, remember, and learn your formalities. Know your formalities, learn the formalities from this wonderful lesson where we'll learn all about writing a formal letter and thus knowing our formalities. I hope you understood every word Mrs. Desai had to tell you. Did you? Did you? I did. I hope you did too. So here we go.